Predictive safety combines world-class safety experts with analytics specialists to uncover safety risks at their source. Our goal at Predictive Safety is to help you identify where hidden risks are impacting your workforce's safety and performance, and predict when and where these risks will be the greatest. This graph is an example of how data analytics can identify fatigue. Here, we can see the time of day, the day of the shift in a 7-day work week, and the expense of the incident in the thousands. This simple data analysis is one of the ways in which companies can uncover the impact of fatigue. This one piece of data analysis proves something that we at Predictive Safety have known for a long time, that even when fatigue isn't cited as a reason for an accident, fatigue is still very often a cause. With this particular work schedule, twice as many accidents occurred in the low-energy, low-alertness zone of the morning first shift, where people are getting up very early, and the accidents that occurred in the night shift were 10 times more expensive and more than likely more harmful. And this is just the historic data. In a moment, we'll show you how we can predict fatigue and help workers manage fatigue before it becomes a risk and reduce the total number of accidents by over 35%. The factors that impact fatigue include desynchronizing the wake-sleep cycle against the natural circadian rhythm, trying to work when the body wants to sleep, and vice versa. The buildup of sleep debt over a number of shifts. When there's not enough time to rest between shifts, fatigue continues to build. Too many hours and shifts worked can make a difference when overtime, call-ins, or travel occurs. And changes in shift patterns can also create fatigue when employees work both night and day shifts and don't have sufficient rest time between shift pattern changes. These factors cause fatigue, and fatigue makes employees a safety risk to themselves and others. They experience poor judgment, microsleeps, memory lapse, reduced risk perception, lack of attention, slower reaction times, and they begin cutting corners. One of the most disturbing elements of this situation is that a person who is severely fatigued is often too impaired to recognize their own symptoms. Their perception of risk does not increase with their reduced competence on the job. Predictive Safety's fatigue management system can assist in mitigating the dangerous effects of fatigue on a workforce. Even in the first year of use, studies show that fatigue hours worked can be reduced by 38%. Because of the employee's increased ability to manage fatigue, attendance can increase for the night shift, while incidents can be reduced by 35% in the first year per material unit production. That is a significant number. Human performance is hard to measure, but our system can monitor, alert, and track the alertness levels of all of your employees. The system provides instant feedback of their real-time alertness ranking and accurately predicts when they're going to get fatigued. Once they select countermeasures to stay alert, they're ready to go. Our fatigue management system begins with assessing the risk with historical data. We look at a 14-day history of that individual's actual work schedule and other factors to assess the person's level of alertness. If our system determines that the individual is headed for significant fatigue, the individual will take a 90-second real-time alertness test to confirm the findings. Then, the system will warn them in advance of impending fatigue and provide them with actionable countermeasures to stay alert. The system goes on to track the individual and provide reporting for management. Predictive Safety's fatigue management system is based on years of validated findings in the field of biomathematical sleep science. Here, the AckerStat 3-process model uses a circadian and homeostatic component to show alertness on a scale of 1 to 20 across a specified time span. Our alertness model utilizes the AckerStat sleep model and additional sleep science findings to arrive at an accurate identification of worker alertness and fatigue risk. The Fatigue Risk Index, a quick sleep question, and our 60-second alertness test work together to provide an extremely accurate assessment of fatigue. The system offers countermeasures and tracking to help workers get in front of their fatigue without interrupting their shift. Predictive Safety provides a unique, closed-loop process of successful fatigue management. Here's how it works. Your employee arrives for work, and the system looks at their 14-day work history. It adds other data into the algorithm, such as commute time or job risk profile. If the system determines that the worker is in good shape, their total time interacting with the system is just a few seconds. However, if it predicts that the individual is or will be at fatigue risk, it asks the employee to quickly take an alertness test and adds the real-time assessment to its fatigue prediction. The system goes on to display a selection of countermeasures that the employee can take now or closer to when they will become fatigued, and then tracks them through the rest of their shift, sending out necessary reminders or alerts through text, dispatch, or other company methods. Let's take a look at the alertness test that is part of the fatigue assessment. This is a scientifically validated cognitive assessment tool developed years ago by NASA and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. Predictive Safety holds the patent to this alertness test, which greatly increases the accuracy of predictive fatigue assessment and offers a real-time evaluation of the employee's alertness level. The system can also be used as a standalone test to detect alertness issues from fatigue, emotional distraction, illness, and other impediments to alertness. The test is also available as an app for smartphones or mobile devices, making it usable in the field. Included with the ability to evaluate and facilitate management for the workforce is a supervisor dashboard. This dashboard is able to be filtered to display one department or the entire workforce. It shows current employees on site, their time of clock-in, their current fatigue status, and the time at which their fatigue status might become more severe. It shows whether or not the employee has accepted countermeasures and how many hours they have left in their shift or how many hours they are in overtime. Within the supervisor tool is a history of each employee, showing their shift schedules and the times in which they worked or will work in a fatigued state. This can be helpful in providing insight into whether the individual's shifts are compliant with company scheduling policies. Also available are a variety of reports. The one shown here is a work hours compliance report that has been filtered down to the individual employees. Shifts that exceed the company's policy of shift length, average weekly hours, and continuous shifts are all easily displayed. These results can also be aggregated by supervisor, department, or location. But the best thing about our fatigue management system is its ability to keep your employees safe and alert from the moment they clock in until the moment they arrive home again. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all care about. Everyone should get home safely. Predictive, automated, and self-managed. Put your workforce ahead of fatigue with the Predictive Fatigue Management System from Predictive Safety.